another edition of Homemade, and today we are going to be preparing a toasted pecan caramel cheesecake. Yes, a toasted pecan caramel cheesecake. This cheesecake is, oh my goodness. To top it off, you all, it is so easy to make. Now, if you want to do a graham cracker crust, feel free. But I am going to be making a vanilla wafer crust. That I'm going to show you how to prepare your pan. Now, I am using just a regular 9-inch springform pan. And if you don't have a springform pan, please do not get discouraged. Don't be intimidated. Use what you have. The trick to it is you want to use the parchment paper in line with whatever baking dish you are using to where you are able to pull your cheesecake out of the pan. So with this, I'm just going to, and if you see, I just cut just a regular rectangle sheet of parchment paper, and I am not going to cut it in a circle. I just laid 2 pieces of foil out, and I tried to kind of meet them halfway with each other. I'm going to sit my pan in the middle, and I'm just going to fold up my foil. So what I like to do is I like to take a softened tablespoon of butter, and all I do is I just go around the side of my pan. Now we're going to start preparing our crust. So again, we have our crushed vanilla wafers, our sugar, and we're going to go ahead and add in our butter. We're going to keep mixing that until you end up with like clumps. So now that that's mixed in, we're going to go ahead and take that and we'll pour it into our pan and move it around in there. Just kind of spread it out evenly in my pan and start to press it down. Start from the middle, press down, make sure that it's packed in there really well. And you are going to have to really press this, you all, because you want your crust to be firm and set. I'm going to go ahead, set this in the freezer for about 10 minutes while we're preparing our filling. And as soon as we get done with our filling, we're going to go ahead, take it out, pour our filling in, and start baking our cheesecake. Now I'm going to show you how simple it is just to get the base of this cheesecake. And you can make this cheesecake without the pecans and the caramel, and it tastes just as good. So right here we have 3 room temperature blocks of cream cheese. So we're going to just make sure that there are no lumps or clumps inside our cream cheese. That'll take about a minute or 2. You just kind of want to get it creamed out. We're going to go ahead and start adding in our sugar. I'm going to add in 3 room temperature eggs. I'm going to go ahead, dump that in, and make sure I get that all out. Now, this is very important. You cannot skip the cornstarch and flour step. Now, I am going to add in 8 ounces of room temperature sour cream, and I'm going to do this in 2 stages. Now, once that's mixed in, we're going to add in our last 2 ingredients, and that is our vanilla and our lemon juice. Mix that for about a minute. And you all, we have our basic cheesecake filling. It took us every bit of 3 minutes. In this bowl, I have a ½ cup of toasted pecans, and we are just going to fold them into our batter. To toast these pecans, all I did was melt 2 tablespoons of butter and tossed my pecans in them, placed them in the oven on 375 for 6 minutes, and that gave us our toasted pecans. So once I folded those in, I'm just going to take my crust and I'm going to pour this filling into there. Now, I did not pour all of my filling in because I'm going to go ahead and drizzle some of my caramel in there. This is just a quick caramel. I'll show you how to make it in another video. But if you have any type of caramel, like even if you have the caramel melts, it works just the same. Drop a few drops here and there. And just make sure that nothing is too thick. You're just going to take your knife and you'll just take it and create different designs in there just to kind of spread it out. I'm going to put the rest of my cheesecake filling on here. And I'm just going to be really gentle and just spread this out. So right now we are going to head over to our stove. Okay, you all, so it's time for our cheesecake to go into the oven. And if you notice, it is in a pan. And in that pan, I poured in 4 cups of water. And that's just to help our cheesecake cook evenly and to keep it from cracking. So our cheesecake is in the oven. Our oven is set to 325. And we are going to set our timer for 1 hour. So the middle of our cheesecake, when I touch it, it is a little jiggly, but it's not sinking in. So I'm going to stick my toothpick in it. And my toothpick basically came out clean. Our cheesecake is done. You all, it smells great. I'm going to leave it here sitting on my cooling towel for about another 45 minutes to an hour, and I'm going to wrap it up and put it in the refrigerator for another 6 hours. Now, when you wrap this cheesecake up, do not remove it from your pan. Let it stay in your springform pan, because as you can see, our cheesecake has been chilling for a few hours, and not only that, you can see that it has been getting eaten. You all, this is one of the creamiest cheesecakes you will ever eat. And remember our pecans that we put on the inside of it. I've already eaten a piece, but I'm going to eat another piece just to show you how easy this cheesecake was and how soft it is and how delicious. So I'm going to go ahead, and we've already put our caramel drizzle on top. Look at there. Oh my goodness. If you don't make this cheesecake, you will be kicking yourself. You all, it is the easiest, tastiest cheesecake that you will probably ever make. When you do make it, make sure that you do drop your pictures and let me know if you liked it, if it was easy, if you succeeded the first time, whatever. Make sure you do that in the comments. I know I did not say it earlier, but don't forget to like, subscribe, and share our channel if you want to keep seeing these easy homemade recipes. Cooking is as hard or as easy as you make it. If you keep it simple, be yourself, life in itself can be so much easier. Thank you for joining me for another episode of Homemade.